This is Dan Max, the trading agent. This is a stock trading and recap channel that I wanted to share to the masses. In a probability game, there's no certainty. Here are my insights and predictions.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the trading agent. And yeah, this is a little intraday recap as the news is popping out here from the Feds with Yellen and Powell talking to the Senate and the House. Can't remember which one they're talking to right now, but it doesn't matter. This is the big headline. It's time to say goodbye to the term transitory when it comes to inflation. Powell will wrap up taper perhaps a few months sooner. We'll discuss at our next FOMC meeting. I mean, again, in general, they're admitting they're fucked. I mean, we've all known this. Inflation is coming, and it's here. If you watch some of my other videos, we talk about this. It kind of is what it is. There is no paying back the debt. There's no reason to raise taxes and ask, people to pay out of their pocket because the federal government is a bunch of idiots. So what's the real truth here? They're going to devalue the dollar. That's all they can do. That's what all the purchasing power will drop. I mean, that is literally all they can do because we're not paying $30 trillion. In the long term, $1 million is not going to be $1 million. That $4 gasoline, $3 gasoline will seem cheap when they devalue the dollar because that's the only way they can actually service the debt. They can't pay back the debt in full. And they can keep running up deficits, but it just is what it is. And let's get into the markets because that's why I think everyone's here, obviously, and we'll be following. The dollars, we're going to run through the gambit real quick and just watch what's going on. So dollar hit the resistance zone again. It backed off. Keep an eye on that. The TLT is running, which I think is interesting because we're right up into a resistance zone. I've been saying lower rates, even though inflation, the market must be projecting some sort of weakness to come. We will see. Keep it simple. The VIX spiked. We're making a lower high. I don't think we're at a crash risk. When Yellen and Powell are speaking, they typically will try to soothe the market. So this, to me, is a turnaround Tuesday potential. I hope people didn't chase. We talked about this morning. You just don't chase. Don't chase. You get pullbacks. Cannot predict the news. You can see on the SPY, we have Friday's low intact. QQQ back below the 20-day. Needs to hold this 392 area. You can see on the ES futures that we have this tight range. Like if we break below 45.75, I think the SPY could get whacked. I put out an alert on gold this morning, or not this morning, actually, a little while ago after it dropped under 166. I still think it's a buy down here. I don't think these guys actually have a plan. Inflation's going to run a lot hotter than they expect. And ultimately, these, the bottlenecks in the economy they're not going to unwind themselves quickly. I like this area with a stop. I always preface everything with a stop. Silver, we talked about this, anywhere near 21 just as a gift. Anything under the 50-day, honestly, I still think is a gift long term. You pull into the GDX, it's been chopping around. We said anything near the 50-day, this 32 area, mid 32s, I still like it. Have a stop. GDXJ, the junior miners, we're just chopping around wide and loose, really wide, like super wide and loose day. It's getting pretty wild. Penn, oh man, it's retesting Friday's lows. I don't know if I'm going to get stopped out. I watched that action, and I'm watching today's action. I have stops in my mind. I'll kick out if I need to. Just keep your head about you and your wits. You can be wrong here. The market could get smashed real quick, but you can always rebuy. Tesla's holding the 20-day. It looks fine to me. U.S. Steel is a little disappointing. It's pulling back, but it filled this gap right here we were talking about under 23, so keep an eye on that for a bear trap filling the gap. Vale, Scott's favorite, holding up pretty well over the 20-day. Everything looks pretty solid there. KL seems to be holding up just fine at the 200-day. It was up pretty big this morning. Just keep an eye on all this stuff. I tell people you cannot know anything for certain. You have stops. Just remember, it is Tuesday. Yellen and Powell are speaking. They're going to probably want to talk up the market if it's initially down. I don't know ultimately if they can control this inflationary thing. And at times, it can be good for stocks because companies will raise prices. But as we talked about, if you study in the 70s and 80s, we'll get into it in one of these recaps. You're just going to get a lot of volatility next year. That's my thinking. So this is Dan Max at eXp Realty. I will talk to you guys later. I got something to do.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like the content. Also, smash the like button, share with your friends, and add a comment. If there's a topic or stock you'd like me to give you insight about, let me know in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer your question. Thanks.